Today, Linux powers everything from smartphones to supercomputers. But this operating system, used by millions worldwide, started as a small project by a university student who just wanted to have fun with coding. This is the story of Linux, an operating system that began as a hobby and grew to dominate the world of technology. Chapter 1: The Early Days of Computing. Before Linux, the computing world was dominated by large, expensive operating systems created by companies like Microsoft and IBM. These operating systems were often closed source, meaning only the company that created them could modify or improve the software. But in the early 1980s, a movement known as free software was gaining momentum. Programmers like Richard Stallman, who founded the Free Software Foundation, believed that software should be open for everyone to use, modify, and share. This idea laid the groundwork for what would become Linux. Chapter 2: Enter Linus Torvalds. In 1991, a Finnish university student named Linus Torvalds was studying computer science at the University of Helsinki. He was interested in the Unix operating system, which was widely used in academic settings, but was expensive and not available for personal computers. Linus wanted to create his own operating system that could run on his home PC. He didn't set out to change the world. He was just having fun and wanted a simple, customizable system for himself. So, in August 1991, he posted a message on a small internet forum announcing that he was working on a free operating system as a hobby. Little did he know that this small project would eventually turn into something much bigger. Chapter 3: The Birth of Linux. Torvalds called his project Linux, a combination of his name and the word Unix. At first, it was just a kernel, the core part of an operating system that interacts with the computer's hardware. But Linus made Linux open source from the start, meaning anyone could view, modify, and improve the code. Soon after, programmers from all over the world began contributing to Linux, adding features, fixing bugs, and improving performance. It became a collaborative project where people from different countries worked together to build something bigger than any one person could have done alone. 4. The rise of open source. Linux's open source nature set it apart from the big closed systems like Windows. Instead of being controlled by one company, Linux was built by a global community of developers who freely shared their work with one another. This collaborative model not only sped up development, but also made Linux extremely flexible. By the mid-1990s, Linux was becoming popular among tech enthusiasts, developers, and universities. The flexibility and freedom Linux offered made it perfect for customizing and experimenting, which appealed to programmers who wanted more control over their systems. Chapter 5: Linux Gains Momentum. As more people began to use Linux, businesses started to take notice. Companies like Red Hat and SUSE saw an opportunity to build professional services around Linux, offering support and making it easier for businesses to adopt the operating system. This marked the beginning of Linux moving into the mainstream. The rise of the Internet in the late 1990s was another turning point for Linux. Servers running websites needed to be fast, secure, and reliable, and Linux was perfect for that. Soon, major websites and companies were running their systems on Linux servers. Its stability and cost-effectiveness made it the preferred choice for many businesses. Chapter 6: Linux Everywhere. In the 2000s, Linux expanded beyond servers and into everyday devices. Android, the operating system that runs on millions of smartphones, is based on the Linux kernel. Today, Linux is found in everything from smart TVs to gaming consoles, proving that it's versatile enough to power just about anything. Supercomputers, too, run on Linux. In fact, as of today, nearly all of the top 500 fastest supercomputers in the world run some form of Linux. It's also used in research, space exploration, and other advanced technologies, where stability and security are critical. Chapter 7: Why People Love Linux. One of the biggest reasons people love Linux is its freedom. Users can change anything they want in the operating system, from the way it looks to how it runs. This flexibility allows developers to customize Linux for specific needs, whether it's running a personal laptop or managing a massive server farm. Another reason is security. Linux's open source model allows anyone to inspect and fix security issues quickly. This has made Linux one of the most secure operating systems in the world, a major reason why it's trusted by companies, governments, and even the military. Chapter 8: The Linux Community. The Linux community is one of the most active and passionate in the world of technology. Thousands of developers, users, and companies contribute to the ongoing development of Linux, making it better every year. This collaborative spirit has kept Linux growing and evolving. Distributions, or distros, like Ubuntu, Debian, and Fedora, have made Linux accessible to regular users. These distros come pre-packaged with software, making it easy for anyone to install Linux and start using it right away. Whether you're a beginner or an expert, there's a version of Linux for everyone. Chapter 9: Linux in the Modern World. Today, Linux is everywhere. It powers most of the world's websites, supports the largest data centers, and runs the fastest supercomputers. Its influence is felt across industries, from software development to space exploration. Linux has also grown into a symbol of the open source movement, showing that when people work together freely, they can create something truly remarkable. Chapter 10: The Future of Linux. The future of Linux looks bright. As more industries adopt open source technologies, Linux's role will only grow. It's no longer just a tool for tech enthusiasts. It's a critical part of our modern digital world. Whether on desktops, servers, or in the cloud, Linux continues to evolve and remain relevant. What started as a student's hobby has now become one of the most important technologies of our time. And as the world continues to innovate, Linux will remain a key player in shaping the future of technology.